Thank you, Vikki. And I want to say hello and greetings to everyone that's on the panel and to everyone that's watching both now and those that will be watching later. Let me make sure I have my 8 minutes here okay. Um, Dr. Amita, thank you so much for sharing that with us about freedom. And I want to kind of jump in on that a little bit. I love the free uh, course here, how we just have our own little thing that we can talk about. But oftentimes when we get in these environments, there's a flow, there's an energy, there's a frequency that just kind of starts off, and we'll find ourselves flowing right with it. And on the level of freedom and tenacity, for a long time, I lived my life and I thought I was a pretty nice person. I thought I was helpful. I thought I was kind. I thought I was giving, thought I was forgiving and all those things. But what I really didn't understand was how free I was to love. Not only myself, but I didn't really realize how free I was to love others, because I was conditioned for a long time to believe that in order for me really to connect to others and love others and appreciate others, they had to kind of fit within the box that I was living in. That the box for me was a religious box. It was a doctrinal box. It was a theological box. I grew up in a church setting where from a very early age, I was taught this is how you live and this is what you do and this is what you don't do. And you only associate with those that do it this way and say it this way and act this way. And it really created in me a mindset that I wasn't a willing participant in the arena of love, especially as it related to loving others. I remember so often I would walk through the streets of my city and I would see people who I would marginalize because they didn't meet my standards. But I'm happy to say, and I don't say this from a braggadocious position or an egotistical position, but I'm happy to say that I took the freedom that I've been given. I've taken the freedom and I've decided to use it to love, to not to put people in boxes, not to create this arena where I held people to certain standards and certain requirements in order to love them. One of the most beautiful things that I try to be very intentional about and try to be very tenacious about is letting people understand that when we talk about loving others, we're not talking about this deep, sensual, I'll die for you kind of love. We're talking about love at a very elementary level, which simply says, I will do no harm to you. I love you from this capacity. I will not hurt you. I will not do any harm to you. So what if we all, every person alive, every person that will ever live, takes up this position? I will love you in a capacity where I will never harm you. Talk about removing all of the things that bind us. Talk about all of the things that really limit us from being the free people that we really are when we're approaching love from that position. Love is this beautiful energy. It's this beautiful light. It's this beautiful element that I really deeply believe that every single person is created in the same essence. And it is our true essence. It is who we really are. We really are love beings. We really are light beings. I know, I understand that we'll look at things sometimes, we'll judge it otherwise. But there's something that I learned. If I look at people from what I see on the outside, I'm going to always miss the truth that's on the inside of them. And that's a process, because it's so easy for us to get immediately into that position of just judging what we see on the outside. But it takes tenacity. It takes it takes a willingness to be committed to saying, no, I'm not going to judge you based upon what I see. I'm going to treat you based upon what I know. And what is it that we know? What is it that I hope we know? Is that every single human being is worthy of our love. Every single human being is worthy of our respect. Every single human being is worthy of the appreciation, the same love, the same appreciation that we heap upon ourselves. It's a beautiful, beautiful world we live in. And perspective really matters. How do you see the world? How do you see those you work with? How do you see those who you shop with? How do you see those that are in your neighborhood? How do you see those who don't look like you, don't talk like you, don't act like you? How do you see people in that category? Perspective matters. It plays a huge role in how we reach out, help, reach out, love, reach out, and be part of this community called life. And I want to encourage you, I want to motivate you, I want to stimulate you if I can, to, when you walk outside of your door every day, when you go out about your day, your job, whatever it is, be intentional about this one thing. And that is looking at people and saying to yourself, this person is highly beloved just like I am. This person is highly accepted just like I am. And that really, really changes how we see others and how we see this world we live in. So I hope, as I'm generally very optimistic. I'm glass full kind of person. So the glass is always full to me. Sometimes people say, well, that's naive, that's whatever. And I say, well, I don't know, because that's my choice. I have this choice to be this way. I made a decision. This is how I'm going to be. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be intentional about what I see, what I feel, how I interpret things. You have that same opportunity. You have that same choice. You can be intentional about how you see things. And I hope that you will choose to see yourself and see others as love beings, as light beings, regardless of whatever they may be presenting to you at the moment. See beyond that and see people for the beauty that they really are. And it changes your perception. It changes how you feel. It changes how you approach your day, your life, and everything about you. I've been in this journey for a little bit. I've been on the one side where it was regimented through religion and doctrine and ideology. I've been on that side, and that wasn't very pleasant. Now I'm on the other side. I'm free, and it's life. It's fun. It's exciting. It's liberating. So I hope that if you're not here, I hope you're working towards getting here. It's intentional, though. It takes intentionality. You have to be intentional. You have to begin to program yourself to be intentional, to see it and feel it and express it and want it this way. And it happens. If it happened for me, and I was a young Pharisee, I was a young judgmental Pharisee, but I became intentional about love, and I hope you will do the same.